What's good? You know the deal. Back at it with another episode of Double XL's The Break Live. I'm Joey from doublexlmag.com and Double XL Higher Level Radio. Of course, with my guy DJ Digital. Shout out to Dig. Today on the show, special guest, FendiDa Rappa comes through out of Chicago. Fendi's in the middle of a major come up this year. Her Point Me 2 track went completely viral overnight. Then Bardi hopped on the remix, and it has really been up ever since. Over 60 million views and streams and all that. The video is lit too. A couple weeks ago, she dropped a new joint, In the Trunk, with GloRilla. And she's already worked with the likes of Sexy Red and Flo Milli too. So we're going to find out all about her music and what makes FendiDa Rappa tick. She should be pulling up any second. See if she's here yet. Yo.
Yo,
What's really good?
nothing.
I'm
But no,
Joey. I'm Joey with Double XL. Thank you for joining me today.
hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? How you living today?
I've been doing good. I'm fine.
Good. We're hella happy to have you today. You're just pulling up. We got FendiDa Rappa. Fendi, where you checking in from right now?
Chicago.
Right on. So in general, right, what's 2023 been like with you in a nutshell?
Oh man, 2023 been crazy. It been good. It been awesome. Like I work with Cardi. I work with GloRilla. It's been very good for me. Like I was
Dope.
just on everybody.
Yeah, for sure. And like, in what specific ways would you say that your life has changed since you've been blowing up this year?
My life really changed in a good way, positive way. Like it's been. I came from the trenches to like the benches.
Right. I would say you're all the way off the bench right now. You are in the game for sure.
Literally.
No doubt. That's cool. How do you handle the spotlight?
It's crazy. Like they always want pictures. I love it. Like the kids love me. They want the pictures. Everybody want the pictures, the videos. The kids, the adults. Like I went to church in LA one day, and I went to TD Jake's Sarah Jake's church, and it was very nice. But this one man, he recognized me and he knew me, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I'm all the way in LA at church on a Sunday, but I was so happy. I'm like, this is lit.
That's dope. That's fantastic, especially with the little kids and stuff coming up to you. That
Oh
must make you
yeah,
feel good.
yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
they love me.
So it all must be a little bit of a wild balance, though, right? For you, it's
Yeah,
pretty new and stuff.
it is.
So what's a typical day in your life like? What do you do?
A typical day. Okay, I go to the studio. I love the studio. I'm always in the studio. I love the studio. That's what I love. I just love being in the studio. I love writing. I love making music. I'm talking about even when I'm doing something, because in Chicago, I'm always connecting with people. Like we always doing promos, something. It's always something. So I just go to the studio afterwards if I want to. But I love the studio.
That's dope. That's dope. So for those just being put on, we're joined by FendiDa Rappa today at Double XL's The Break. Multiple viral hits, Point Me 2 with Cardi, Juke Song, the new joint with GloRilla, In the Trunk, and we'll get to all that. But first, let's take it back to the beginning, all right? You just said you're from Chicago, right?
Yep. Yeah.
What part of Chicago?
The South Side.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your childhood coming up in Chirac?
Mm, it was what you said. It was balancing. It was a balancing lifestyle. It was challenging. It was balancing because, we in Chicago. We gonna have to fight. We gonna have to fight, argue, and do all that. But most of all, I had a family that loved me, support me. We was very family orientated, and it was just like I still had to fight all my life though. Like even with the rapping and all the girls in Chicago, like it's so many of us, and
Hmm.
so many of us rapping, and I'm like, man, what makes me different? I had to ask myself one day, and I'm like, what makes me different? What makes me stand out from the other girls, from all the different girls that doing the same thing that I'm doing and stuff? I'm like, I gotta put out a record. That's what made me come out with Point Me 2. But
No doubt.
it was just like a drill juke, but it was like I gotta show them I'm a little different. You
Sure.
feel me?
Yeah, dope. So I do want to get back to the roots, but so you just alluded to it, but what is it that makes you stand out among the rest?
Oh yeah, I got the drill and juke on lock. I always bring it together. So anything with drill and juke, Fendi, yeah, it's a win-win.
That's fire, right? So, a lot of your music is that combination of drill and footwork, I call it, but juke, right?
Yeah.
So, like, do you remember how you were first put on to those two scenes?
Um, for sure.
When was it?
You, like along, like I want to say 2012 with Chief Keef with the drill,
Okay.
Chicago. You had that on lock. DJ PJ. They was in Chicago. The DJs, the juke and footwork. 2011, 2010. So I'm like, oh, that's cold.
Yeah.
The drill and juke, like that's cold.
All right. So for anyone who might not be familiar, right, from other parts of the country or something, like, would you describe drill and would you describe juke for us in your
Okay,
in your opinion? What does those
okay,
sound? What does that sound like?
okay. The drill sound is very it came. I want to say it came from Chicago. It's very original. It talk about drills, some that went on in Chicago, maybe New York. It's I want to say drill is something people do, to when they on some other stuff.
Maybe to get some aggression out.
Yes, for sure.
Sure.
Juke is a whole nother thing from drill. Juke is, happy dancing, footworking, and that's the good side of Chicago. That's the juking is the good side of Chicago. Drill, we gonna say is it they so when you bring both of them together, drill and juke, it make I wanna say a fire like a explodes. Boom. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah, I could get with that for sure. Now, what is it that inspired you to take those two Chicago prominent sounds and just mash them all into one?
Okay, I had a juke song out in Chicago. It was going up like up, up. And I'm like, but it wasn't no labels hitting me up for it. So I'm like, maybe Juke not gonna give me that far because I thought my sound was Juke. I thought I found, Juke. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, maybe it's not gonna give me that far. Shout out Jordan Loud. Jordan Loud, he sent me a beat that point me to beat and it sounded like drill in there, juke. It had so much stuff in there and I said that's the one. So that's what really made me like, okay, I want to do drill and juke because juke is gonna get me so far. You feel me?
Hmm. And then vice versa for drill too. That's a
Yeah.
fire. That's a fire lane to be in. I respect you for that, for sure.
Thank
Now,
you.
what were some of your early aspirations as a kid? What did you see yourself doing with your life? When you,
Oh, I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher. I used to do armed security for years when I graduated high school. I did it
okay.
for about 6 years. I wanted to be a teacher. I went to college. I went to school to do security, armed security. I did kids' hair. I did everything. Everything I wanted to do, I did.
Dope.
Restaurants, I worked.
That's cool. Now, I mean, Chicago isn't just about hip hop. It's a hotbed for all types of music. Always has been. Was
For
music
sure.
always was music always part of your life?
I always, since I was a kid, I knew I had it. Like, but I never thought of nothing of it. Like, oh, I'm a rap, and this was gonna get me where my family. Like,
Yeah.
I never thought of nothing like that. I always just used to be rapping to my cousins, and it wasn't even rapping. I just used to say words that rhyme, like
Okay.
each other, and I'm like, oh, this really hard. But
Did you remember the first time you rapped? Period.
it was a time at my daddy house because my cousins on my daddy side, like they love it. My
Okay.
mom side, they like,
Okay.
I
Do you remember what you rapped about?
don't remember what I rapped about, but I remember the song. My cousin, he still got the song. He said, "This one when you was little, you was little." I said, "Oh my God, I couldn't
Wow, really?
believe it."
He still got that?
He still got it. My cousin,
Wow.
Deshaun, yeah. He
That's
still
dope.
got. That's dope.
That is dope. So now, what was the first song you ever recorded?
Um, the first song I ever recorded was like in 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was in 2012. I was with all my.
So now, what was the moment? Because you said you didn't really expect it. It started as sort of a hobby situation, having fun with the cousins and all that. Like, what was the moment that you knew that a career in music was the move to start making?
2019
Okay,
when I started taking it serious, but I was still just doing videos and just putting them out there. I wasn't like doing videos, putting them on DistroKid, stuff
right.
like that.
The game you weren't, yeah, you weren't playing the game, but what inspired you to take it so seriously at that point
My,
in 2019?
my friend, her name's Shamaya. That was my best friend. She used to love music. She used to love doing music. She was so popular, and she passed away in 2017.
Oh,
Yeah, and then after she passed away, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just take it serious because she always told me like, you a rapper, you a real rapper. Like she knew it because we made a song in 2012 together, and then she was like, oh yeah, you got it.
wow, that's an interesting story for sure. My condolences, by the way, but
Thank you.
I'm glad that you were able to turn that negative into a positive
Yes.
for sure. Now, all right, so you start taking it seriously, but like you said, you weren't like, I didn't know how to do this and that. Like, where does your career go? What are the first moves you start making? Is that when you put together straight out the rack?
Nope. I end up moving to Houston and
Okay,
focusing on music. I end up moving to Houston and start focusing on music. So I came up with Straight from the Rack while I was in Houston. Came up
okay,
with a couple of songs, came with like 15 songs. I was going to the studio back to back to back to just come up with a little album for Chicago or whatever. That's why I came up with Juke Song. I put Juke
yep,
Song on the album. I mean
yep.
on the mixtape, and it just went from there. That's when I started taking it serious. Like, okay, my cousin Deshaun, he like, okay, we can put these on DistroKid. That's when I started taking it serious. That was like 2021.
Okay, so now Juke Song is the one on that tape, right? Like I love that song, and that was a lot of what you talked about with the Juke movement and things like that, which I think is a great lane for you. Now, in what ways did that track change the way you thought of a career? Like,
That
what did you see? Like, were the numbers up on that one? Like, did you dropped it on TikTok for like where did it drop?
yo, I just dropped it on all platforms first.
Oh,
That's
okay,
all I did. I didn't do no promo for the song. I didn't even know the song was gonna do what it did until it was going up. It was just going up on Instagram and on YouTube. And then somebody commented on Instagram and said, Fendi kids gonna get paid for this song. And that was like, oh, this is it.
okay,
But
yeah.
yeah, Juke song that really made me like go up. All my DJs in Chicago, they was hitting me up, wanted me to perform. It was a time to be alive.
That's dope. So then at that point, you drop the original version of Point Me to the Sluts, right? Which is a wild name for me to
Yes,
say personally, but I love it. I love it. I love this song too. Now, is that true that the original version of that song earned like 1 million views on TikTok in a day?
yep.
Yo, how did that happen?
That a girl, I love this girl. She just did a video to it, and she was in school. And she did the video went right to the song. It was perfect. Everything she did, the facial expressions and everything. And they was like, everybody was coming like, this is exactly how I feel when I hear the song. And I'm like, ooh, it just went. I just woke up. I went to sleep and I woke up, and it was just like, boom.
Do you
It was
remember
so.
old girl's? Do you
I
remember
remember.
girl's name?
Yeah, I remember her name was Rennie. Shout out Rennie. She came to the video shoot. She had a time. Yeah, her
Oh,
name
no
was Rennie
doubt.
for sure.
That that's fire. So on that joint, the hook has the line. Distant when they rap, should we call it drill, right? What is exactly did you mean by that?
You know, when everybody dissing they raps in Chicago, they think it's drill.
Okay.
So when you diss somebody, you say their name or whatever, you ready for a drill. You looking for a drill. So that's why I said, should we call it drill?
Hmm. Got it. It was a little, yeah, I understand what you're saying. What do you think of the whole drill scene these days, specifically in Chicago?
Oh, I don't like it. Like,
Nah?
nah, I don't like it. Like if we talking about drilling for real, like I don't like it. But drilling when they talking about it or whatever, maybe some of that stuff don't be true or have the
Right,
case may be, but
right.
it's not cool in our city.
For sure. All right, so a million on Point Me to the Sluts, and then all of a sudden, how does that song find its way to Cardi B?
I was actually finna sign a deal, and I'm like, we had everybody on the table, to get on a record. We had Lil Durk. I wanted Chief Keef. I wanted so many people on the record, and
Hmm.
then Cardi B. Her manager ended up writing me on Instagram and was like, Cardi loves the record. Or, well, I said, oh my God. I didn't even think it was serious. I sent it to my manager right away. And I'm like, get back to them ASAP. And she did. And sure enough, she said it was true. Cardi loved the record. They connected us on the phone call like I want to say 2 days later. She like, hey, we was on the phone. We text. But we met in Chicago. We finally met in Chicago. But
Hold up, hold up. That is crazy. I would have thought that was a troll job too, for sure, right? So,
yes,
okay. So then management sets it up. It turns out to be a real thing, and you get on the phone with Cardi before the song?
yes,
Wow.
we was talking about like what do I want to do? What do we want to wear? Stuff like that.
Okay, so so in real time, as she was about to record it, it was about to be the video too. You were putting all that into motion.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow. And so when you got the verse back, even before the video, like were you
I
bugging? What was that feeling
I
like?
remember I remember the verse was playing in a car, and my manager, my label guy, which is Cardi manager, he
Mhm.
ended up playing it for me, and I heard it. He played it so many times, and I cried.
Wow, that's incredible. So then she flies out to Chicago, right? And you do the video. You got the girl who did the TikTok all up in there too, and that must have been a time for sure.
That was a time. I had everybody from Chicago, every cameraman, everybody was there. It was a time.
So now, while that's going on, you mentioned a deal, right? Like, now, did you end up locking that deal, or do you have a different one?
No, no, no. I ended up locking that deal.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So,
that's
go ahead. Are you
with
signed
Giant.
now?
Yeah, the Giant Music.
Okay, you're signed to them. Word. So dope, dope. So then, wow. After that, it goes completely out of here. What would you
Yeah,
say? Obviously, Cardi B's on the track, right? And she's one of the biggest stars in the entire world, no matter what it is, right? But is there anybody else that like co-signed that track that you were just like, wow, this is crazy to me?
I had everybody like this. Sexy Red. She was. I was asked her. I'm like, asked her to get on it. She was like, I'm in right to it when I get to Miami. Sexy Red liked it the song. Too Rare liked it the song. Kodak
My
Black
guy.
liked it the song. I couldn't believe.
Wow. Okay. All right. All right. So speaking of Sexy Red, right? You just did a track with her. You did do a track with her, right? One margarita.
Yep,
Did you? How did you link up with her?
I did
The
it. I
first.
just got the track sent to me, and we
Got you.
did it from
Got
there.
you. Have you talked to Sexy at all since?
No,
Oh,
I
all right. All right. Well, because I was gonna say, I mean, it seems like you two would get along because she's just such an authentic person, and I really
yeah.
get that from you
I
too.
love sexy. Yeah, I love sexy.
So you seem to be the same way. Now, how important is it to you to maintain that authenticity in your music and all the things that you do?
That's
Is it
it's very important to me because anytime people see me, they be like, "Oh, Fendi, you so humble." I want to stay that way. I don't want to be different. Like I want to be authentic. That's me. Like humble, real, rare. I want to stay that way.
so? It's important that you do stay that way, right? But are there ever any moments where you gotta like check yourself and make sure that it keeps happening
It's
that way?
it's always times I be like, "Oh, I ain't giving myself enough credit. I ain't giving myself enough credit." Like. Like I be like, okay, I'm in Chicago, really doing something big, like for the city, like for the rural.
Hmm.
But I
That's
gotta give
the
myself that credit.
Yeah, for sure. That's the flip side of it, right? You want to be authentic, you want to be real, and humble. Being humble is important, but at the same time, I mean, you got to put on for yourself and make
Yes.
sure that you maintain your confidence and things like that. That's cool. Now, that one Margarita track, Flo Milli's on there too, and just recently, Double XL had Maya Baton, Flo Milli, all in a female cipher that was handpicked by Lotto, right? And I think it was like the perfect example of the way women are dominating hip hop right now, right? What are your thoughts on why females are dominating hip hop so much?
Um, Beyonce always said women run the world. We run the world. Like we the man, we the brain, we the muscle, we the thinkers. Like I think that we finally get the time to shine and let them know what we really about. I think the world needed this. You feel me?
Dope.
Like they needed it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's in a good space. And the new joint with GloRilla, right?
Uh huh.
How did you link up with her? Shout out to Big Lo.
I love Glow. I was writing a song. I was working on the song Get Drunk, or whatever the case. And then I was talking about like, oh, I want Glow on this song. I want Glow on this song. And I'm like, I want Sexy Red. I wanted both of them. But what I was seeing on the song, we about to get drunk. I'm like, I'm gonna leave it for Glow for right now. You know, like
Yeah.
she lit. We gonna do it. And sent the track to GloRilla. My label sent the track to GloRilla. She sent it back, and she sent it back to me personally. She asked me what's my number was, and she ended up texting it to me, and I FaceTimed her. Soon as I got the text, I heard it, and I FaceTimed. I was like, "You went crazy." She like, "No, you went crazy."
Yeah. That song's hard for sure. That song is hard. Now, all right. So with that, like, what are you working on now? You got a project coming?
Oh yeah, I'm working on my album now.
Okay. An album. Can you tell us anything more about it, or are you just working on it?
I'm gonna drop a single before the album, so I'm gonna do that for y'all.
Okay. All right. Can we expect it what early next year or
Yeah, I'm gonna say early in the year, early January, early, like
dope?
that early.
Dope. So you said you love spending a lot of time in the studio, right?
Hmm.
What's the process like in the studio for you? Do you hear a beat and then write to it? Does it come off the top? Do you write rhymes and then hear the beat? Like, how does that work for you?
No, not since now, since everything been like blowing up and going up. I just since I go to the studio and I listen to beats. I didn't used to do that. I used to be at
Okay.
home and I go on YouTube and I listen to a beat. If I like it, I write on it. But people that send me beats, I never used to listen to them. I never really took my time out the day to listen to them. I just go on YouTube because and that's where I found all my good beats at. And but ever since everything been going up, I've just been going to the studio and people been sending beats right away, and I just been jumping on them from there or right from there. Like the Danny Mob, the Get Drunk, the In the Trunk song. He sent me
Yep.
that beat while I was in the studio, and I made that while I was in the studio, and I'm starting to like that more. Like while I'm in the studio, cause I write at home at night, like while people sleep. That's what I do.
Okay. Got it. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, the inbox must be flooded with beats now, though. How do you
Oh
sort
yeah,
through them? How do you sort through them? You just throw them on and see if you like them.
it's the emails.
Mm.
It's the emails with the beats. It's so many beats, and it's not one beat. It's a pack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's different producers sending packs, packs, packs. But I got my favorites now. I learned my favorites now.
Okay.
They
Who you
they
want? You
got my
want?
number.
No doubt. You want to shout them out at all?
Yeah, shout out Danny Ma. Shout out Juki made the track. Them my favorite too. And shout out Jordan Lau.
No doubt. No doubt. How about shows? You like performing?
I love performing.
Yeah, I
I
knew you were
just
gonna
came
say.
from New York White Plains. I was in New York. I performed there. I love performing. I'm
White
always
Plains is right around my way.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just there.
no doubt, no doubt. That's cool. Like, is there a specific moment at a show or a show that you were with somebody else where just it's a moment stands out to you? Any fan interactions or being on stage? Anything that the first thing you think of?
When I was at Philly, I was coming out of show, and they
Okay.
chased me out. They was like, "We want to do an interview. We want to do an interview," and I'm like, "Okay, okay, cool." They did an interview, and the interview was like, I want to say 10 seconds, and they was like, Who will you be? They be like, who will you be a, a slut for? I'm like, oh, Yuck Miami. That was easy. And that stand out the most to me. Like that, it always stand out the most to me.
I would say so. That is quite the interview, quite the question, and a fantastic response on your end.
For sure.
That's funny. All right, so when it comes to that's funny, but when it comes to performing, like, are there any artists that you've seen coming up or seen even recently that inspire you to perform, with that same energy?
Um, Lola Brooke. I like Lola Brooke.
Ooh,
Ooh,
shout out to Lola.
shout out to Lola. That breaking point of hers when she was running out on them stages,
Yeah,
time after time. I'm like,
yeah,
oh my God,
yeah,
this is what's up. You feel me? Like this. I loved it that.
yeah.
One of
That's a that's a good call. I always refer to her as 4 foot 11.5 inches of pure dynamite.
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I loved it. Lola Brooke. I love my favorite people in the rack, the DCG boys in Chicago. DCG boys, shout out
Yeah.
them.
Mm.
Um, who else in Chicago that really you probably don't know them. The Pretty and Pink Girls, Chief Keef, Dirk. Like it's so many. I could go on and on. Dej Loaf. Like these all the people.
Dej Loaf. Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Dej. Yeah, all right, dope. So, I mean, you got major cosigns from major people already. Is there anybody who gave you a piece of advice that might have stuck with you? Was it Cardi? Was it Glow? Anybody else in the business?
Mm, Cardi. She always give me advice though. Like that's she
Yeah.
always like girl don't worry about it or she always give me good advice. She'll text me and she'll tell me what to tweet from time to time. Like it's good. It's
Good. Yeah. I would be willing to say that that's a good person to have in your corner when it comes to that stuff. How to
for
handle
sure.
things. Yeah. What's been like the most challenging thing for you in now that your music has blown up like that?
Um I wanna say my page, my Instagram page. I had one, I had to make another one. That was very
I saw that you got disabled. That's terrible.
yeah, but I'm working on this one now and we taking it to the top from here.
Dope, dope. So, are there any other artists that you didn't mention that you want to work with like immediately in the studio?
I want to work with immediate like Chief Keef, mm,
Mm,
the City Girls,
mm,
Lotto, mm, Sexy Red. I just want to work with so many people.
dope.
I don't want it to stop here.
Fantastic. So, well, speaking of that, not stopping here, like, are there any other areas, either within music or outside of music, that you want to get into as your career grows? Any sort of side hustle or anything like that?
Yeah, like I want to do real estate stuff like that
That's a smart investment for sure.
for
For
sure.
sure. What would you say is the nicest thing that you've done for yourself since you've been on a come up like this?
Um, the nicest thing I've done for myself was it made me feel good, but it wasn't for myself.
Okay, so what was it?
Um, Gifting my sister with $20,000.
Nice, that's what's up. How's
Yeah,
your family handling your success and things like that? They
uh,
still all the support for you and everything?
yeah, yeah. It's the support, it's the love. It's Chris. It's a holiday, so it's so much
Yeah,
love going around right now. It's
yeah.
everything. It's what's up. I love it.
That's what's up. That's great to hear. Now, what advice would you give a young person who's looking to get into the rap game as a career?
Stay consistent. Never give up, even if you get discouraged. Keep going. Save your money. Spend your money on what you want to do, before it can come back double, triple.
Solid. Very solid. Thank you. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the Double XL audience as you hop on with us for the first time?
Shout out Double XL. I love y'all. Shout out all my fans, my supporters. And that's what I said. I said I don't have fans. I have supporters. Don't call my supporters fans.
All right. I
Shout out my
bet.
supporters.
Bet. All right, why don't you go ahead and give out your info, your social handles, whatever you want. Let the people know how they can follow
You can
FendiDa
follow me
Rappa.
on Instagram at Fendi FendiDa_Rappa _FendiDa Rappa. You can follow me on Twitter at Big Fendo1, BIGFENDO1, and then you can follow me, add me on Facebook at Jessica Oliver, JESSICAOLIVER. Let's do it.
No, no doubt. Don't forget the underscore on IG too, by the way, people.
Yeah, don't forget the underscore on Instagram.
Bet. All right, yo, check out FendiDa Rappa, streaming on all platforms with all her viral hits. Definitely keep checking back for that project. Hopefully early next year. Looking forward to that album. And Fendi, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
appreciate you, and looking forward to talking to you again in the future.
Okay, cool.
Happy holidays. Be good.
Same to you, bro.